excited about your essential oils?
Would you like to have more confidence about how to actually use them?
You're in the right place, because today we're going to learn how you can become an everyday oil expert.
This is Natalie. She is all about the healing aspect of essential oils, awakening the healing arts in your home and with each other.
And this is Tana Lee. She has an inquisitive mind, and that has led her to get additional training and certificates in essential oils and be this brain behind that. She knows all the facts, and I love to be able to share with her. So
don't let that scare you. We're not going to get too scientific on you, but there is a little bit more information in order to understand why these essential oils are so awesome.
And we want to share that with you. So we're going to go over 3 steps so you can get consistent results with the essential oils. The first is location, the second is container, and the third is habit. Hook it to a habit.
Let's just talk about that a little bit more. So location. When something comes up, you've got to have your oils right within arm's reach. So we've got to be placing the oils around your house, in your bathroom, in the kitchen, by your nightstand. Don't be afraid to have 2 bottles of lavender open, right? You might need one on the changing table for the baby.
Yeah, that's going to be okay. But you want to be strategic so that you're set up for success, right? You want to have a pill case in your purse so that when you go out to dinner, you've got that on tap and you're getting the nutrients that you need. You want to have your pills already set up at home, your lifelong vitality pack. You want to have that accessible when you go and eat.
Yeah, if you have to open 3 bottles to take your vitamins every morning, if you're like me, you probably won't do it. That's going to take too long.
We want to do whatever we can to make it simple, right? And work with your life.
Containers. Let's talk about containers. You got to have the pumps to make it easier. You got to have roll-ons. You got to have sprays. If it's user-friendly, then you're gonna use it and you'll be consistent. Some people like a pouch that could actually hold the 15 ml bottles so that they've got a large quantity, say you're going on a road trip and you want larger quantities of oils. Other people want to keep it simple and portable, and we'll just do the CD case with a sample size of each oil. So, when you happen to need some cypress, you've got it there with you. You're prepared with your little bit of cypress.
Your purse pouch, you might have that in your purse, and you could take that with you. That's something that I never leave home without.
That gives you more variety of essential oils to use than what can be held in the keychain.
So containers are gonna increase your effectiveness. It's gonna make it easy and accessible for you to use.
Third is hooking it to a habit. Attaching essential oil use to something that you already do.
You hook a way to use essential oils to one of those habits, and you're going to be a lot more likely to be successful and be able to integrate it into your world. They can work on all of these levels: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. They can affect all of this, and so we want to bring it into our routine and just elevate it.
So why does it work on multiple levels like that? Let's look at what an essential oil is in depth for just a second. This is the brainy part, okay? So complexity. When they say that essential oils are complex, what does that mean exactly? Okay, it means you've got lots of different little chemical constituents. I like to use the example of ibuprofen at the drugstore, right? You look at the back of the bottle and it says active ingredients. One thing, one active ingredient. Essential oils like peppermint, hundreds of active compounds, and each of those little compounds is going to have a different effect on the body. One other bonus of complexity is when it comes to bacteria. Your commercial antibiotics are very simple in their chemical makeup. We're talking 1 or 2 chemical compounds, but oregano, it's super complex, and a bacteria sees it and it cannot mutate to become resistant to that. So complexity is your friend, acting on many levels and helping the bacteria to go its way.
That's right.
Morning time. What do you do, Natalie? What's the first thing you do?
I like to breathe in peppermint so that I want to get out of bed, so that I'm feeling energy, and peppermint will do that for me.
And why is that? Peppermint is oxygenating. If you've ever experienced peppermint, which hopefully you have in your first class, it will invigorate you and oxygenate you. don't forget to brush your teeth.
Oh, yeah.
We've got to use that On Guard toothpaste. It's awesome. It's got some components in there that help to strengthen your enamel and super antibacterial. You know about On Guard, that's the one that's going to keep you fresh.
Yeah, and if you have a healthy mouth, that's going to go over to so many other parts of your body. We're learning that in the incredible research they've been doing lately. So keep a healthy mouth, and you can do that with the On Guard toothpaste.
I don't know about you, but I am thirsty in the mornings. So first thing, right by my water source, I've got my citrus oil. You can choose, you can switch it up, but lemon, lime, grapefruit.
Grapefruit. I love grapefruit.
I love wild orange too, but 5 to 15 drops right in your water. First thing in the morning, it's a great way to cleanse your body.
Yeah, so you're getting the cleansing, you're getting the hydrating that we know is healthy for us, and you're hooking that essential oil to a habit, right? Now let's move to nourish.
Lifelong vitality, it's a must. I also put that one where I've got my lemon in the window with the containers already open, so ready to grab.
I love that. So you have 3 bowls just on the windowsill there, and you just grab however many you need.
Yeah, and you know, I don't take them with me necessarily throughout the day, and so I get all of my lifelong vitality in except 2 of the VMZ. And then at nighttime, I'll return to the 2 VMZ.
I like what you're saying. It's important that you get those nutrients in from the Lifelong Vitality Pack one way or the other, right? If you're only gonna remember once, fine, take them all in the morning. But if you can spread them out, that's gonna be better for your body, right? It's just like eating food. It's better to have 3 small meals than 1 big, huge meal. We need to nourish our body all throughout the day. So if you can break it up into breakfast and dinner, or, you know, that's great. If you can break it up to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, even better. So do what works for you.
Let's talk cleansing just a little bit and how those citrus oils support you in that. There are components in the citrus oils that break up petrochemicals. And cool little demonstration, maybe some of you have seen it, where you can drip the essential oils right onto the styrofoam.
You'll watch how they just break down that styrofoam. It does the same thing within our own bodies, right? Because we're taking in these petrochemicals, we're surrounded by them in our world today.
Breathing them, eating them, we can't escape. We live in a chemical soup. And so give your body the support that it needs to break those down. If you don't, your body has a chemical, a petrochemical, it can't break it down. It's gonna tuck it into a fat cell. And there it is, stuck. You know, your body's trying to protect itself.
And how's that gonna show up? I mean, it's gonna show up because it is this weight on your body. Your body is intended to be light and clean and full of oxygen.
Awesome.
Not any of these other chemicals.
Yeah, so the lemon breaks that down. Just like it breaks down the styrofoam, it will break it down in your body.
With citrus oils, you wanna be careful for sun exposure, right?
Oh yeah, good point. It's got a component in there that makes your skin sensitive to the sun. Special treat after you've washed your face, Immortelle. Immortelle is awesome. It's a blend. It's great for the fine lines and wrinkles, and it gives your skin something good to absorb.
I love Immortelle because of what it's done for my eyes, but I also like what it's done for my eyes, my vision. The last time I went in to have my vision checked, I had been using Immortelle around my eyes, and it was the first time in my whole life my prescription actually decreased.
I love our skincare, and there's a whole segment of education on that. So be using that, incorporate it. Let's look at your family, taking care of yourself on some levels, and now those that you have stewardship over. Whether you are gathering at the breakfast table or a family hug before you leave the house, this is the habit you want to hook to your essential oil usage. So the ones I like to use on my kids every day, Balance and On Guard. So we're addressing emotional, the grounding, and the physical, stimulating the immune system with the On Guard and, you know, getting them ready to go for the day.
Yeah, they can have that protection as they go out, and they're grounded so that whatever comes their way throughout the day. And it's so fun. We just pass it around, right?
Yep.
Because sometimes it's hard to hit everybody, but you can make sure that they get those oils on them and they're set up for success.
So container might be a question here.
Yeah.
You know, are you going to hand the 4-year-old the whole bottle of full strength On Guard? Maybe not. But a roller ball that's diluted with a little bit of coconut oil. It's user friendly in case they touch their eye. It's already been stretched a little bit with the coconut oil.
And they can do that easily on themselves. Even balance. You could put balance straight in a roller bottle, right? And then your 2-year-old can feel empowered by putting it on herself.
It's awesome. The coconut oil also, last
Yeah.
thought on this, is going to help increase the absorption. Like if I just put On Guard on my arm right here, most of it's going to evaporate. I think Dr. Hill had said like 80% of your oil is just going to evaporate. So we increase the absorption with the coconut oil. Those are heavier fat molecules that weigh down our lighter, more aromatic compounds.
That's awesome to remember. And there's another thing that you could do to that same thing. Let's say you had a pain right here, right? We can add a lot more power just by adding a hot compress, right? And
What's a hot compress? I don't know what hot compress
doesn't that
is.
sound so complicated? For the longest time I was like, hot compress. I don't have one of those. Well, if you have a washcloth and hot water, you have a hot compress, okay? You can make a hot compress just by taking a clean washcloth, putting it under hot running water, squeezing it out, and just laying it on there, right?
So scientifically, why would that be more effective? Why does that make your oil more absorbed? Because you're increasing the blood flow to the skin. You've heated it up. There are now more blood molecules that could come and grab your essential oil. Wow. So.
Isn't that cool?
Another way to create heat is with massage. Actually, making some movements across the skin, that will increase the absorption as well.
Yeah, if you can increase the heat, you can really turn up the power.
That's right.
Another thing that was one of the tips that you learned in your first class, but we just want to hit again, is if you've got a chronic problem, if you've got something that's been an issue for the last 5 years, you're going to use an essential oil maybe morning and night or 3 times a day for that. If you've got an acute problem, you've got a cold coming on or the flu coming on, you want to combat that head on, and you want to apply an essential oil maybe every 5 minutes, every 15 minutes, right?
Yep.
Support the body.
Give it something to go with. Don't wait around. Don't mess around. You can't use too much when you have an acute condition coming on like that.
And I love what Dr. Hill says. He says, truly, essential oils are not healing the body. And I
What?
thought, what did he say?
What did you just say?
Get him off there. We need to hear something different. I thought the answer was in these oils, but the answer is that as you give your body what it needs through the essential oils, that your body will have what it needs to heal itself.
Just to elaborate a little bit more on why balance. I saw the blood slides that Dr. Hill did, and that is why we use it every day. So let's go into just a little bit on the cellular level, what happens when you use balance.
This is a live blood analysis.
Your red blood cells. And look at them. They do not look happy. This is clumpy. This is like free radical damage in action
Right.
going on in the blood. Gummy worms, that's what I like to call it.
It doesn't look healthy. It doesn't look like blood that's going to be serving you.
So then the technicians applied 1 drop of balance to the bottom of the foot and waited 30 seconds, pricked the finger again for a new sample of red blood cells, and this is the difference.
This is what it looks like. Look at that flow.
That is why on that cellular level I use the balance every day for my kids.
And it's amazing. You kind of feel the difference that the essential oils make in your body and your life. So now we're in the meat of our day, the thick of our day. Kids have tantrums, they have meltdowns, right? And we have a tool, so we don't have to just deal with the meltdowns all the time. I like to say that I swipe my kids, right? If we're in the grocery store and they're about to have a meltdown, I reach out and swipe them with some balance or some serenity. And then we don't have the meltdown that we were gonna have. We can avoid that altogether. My new little baby, when she's colicky or she just needs to relax a little bit, I love to use Roman chamomile because it just soothes and calms her.
Serenity's another good one.
It feels all powerful when we have these essential oils. Some of the other things that you might need to recover from are cuts. I was talking to someone the other day and they said a paper cut is beautifully healed by just a touch of melaleuca and then some helichrysum. You want to make sure before you seal up a cut with helichrysum that you disinfect it somehow, right? You want to use melaleuca, you want to use lavender to heal and disinfect that area, and then you can seal it up with helichrysum.
Helichrysum is great for stopping the bleeding too.
Anywhere. My sister uses past tense all the time for bumps and bruises, right? How many little kids are bumping their
They're totally
head?
top heavy. It's the problem we have at our
And
house.
how many of us stub our toes, right? So if you have pain, a pain point, grab that past tense, roll it on real quick, and it'll take that pain away.
It'll actually stop it from bruising as much too.
Wow.
My mom used to get just huge bruises that would linger and just last all summer long. Here you are in your shorts with your shins totally bruised up, right? So we're in the habit now of as soon as somebody makes a bump, we're going for a geranium or a helichrysum or some deep blue, something that will prevent the bruise from developing and then also heal it up faster.
The other thing that happens a lot during the middle of the day is digestive issues. Any kind of digestive issue you can take care of so well. My son, he had severe intestinal issues. He was struggling all the time and in pain really often, and I wondered how he would be when he grew up, if he would be able to really do a normal life.
My mom put some digestin on, and within a couple minutes it was feeling better.
When I got the oils, I gave him his own bottle of digestin and taught him how to put it on his tummy, taught him how to drink it in water, and he began to use that.
That digestin really helps when your tummy isn't feeling so good, or your stomach.
He wanted to make sure he had it with him all the time. And after he had used that for between 30 to 60 days, I noticed that it was in his room and that he didn't have it in his pocket. He must not be using it. And I asked my son, I said, what's wrong? Why aren't you using this essential oil anymore?
And I was like, Mom, I don't need it anymore. It feels better now. So, yeah.
As he said that, I thought, wow, everything that I have felt about these oils, everything that I'm seeing in other people's lives, it's real. And it's happening to him. And he still uses digestin on occasion. You know, he has a weakness towards that, but he has strengthened, right? He gave his body what it needed, and it was able to heal itself. If he has a lot of ice cream some days, we bring a little more digestin in. But the issue isn't there anymore.
That's a good point, because some people might worry that, am I going to become addicted to this? You know, or is this something that I'm going to have to do for the rest of my life?
Because we're dealing with the root issues, right? We aren't getting addicted to a medication, right? That's just covering up the symptoms and that cycle's just continuing. We really are addressing the root issue and finding healing there.
One thing that many people struggle with their children is strep throat. I can't even tell you how many times people call me, what do I do for strep throat? So this is a huge one for people, and it seems to be reoccurring, and some people have a tendency towards it, and that's what happened in our family. I was trying to be more natural. I hadn't been completely exposed to essential oils, but I had a few in the house, and we had strep throat 6 times in 1 year. One child, strep throat, just kept coming back and coming back, and finally the pediatrician said we're going to need to take out the tonsils. That's the next step. How many of you have heard this story before in Western medicine? We have an issue, let's use a medication. When the medication doesn't work anymore, let's start removing body parts. And I know that works for some people. They've had benefit by that, with that choice. For me, I thought this is part of the immune system. If there's another alternative, I'd like to keep it. Alternatives, essential oils, this is where it comes in. And in the book that I read, it said sometimes bacteria and viruses like strep and herpes can cross the blood-brain barrier where they're resistant to commercial antibiotics. So we would take the antibiotic, it would kill the strep bacteria everywhere except the brain and the spinal column. This is where essential oils come in. We can apply them right along the spine, and they are friendly to the blood-brain barrier. They can pass where the commercial antibiotics can't. We used balance, cypress, and basil, and we applied that on his back 3 times over the course of a week, and no more strep throat.
Just a quick reminder of how simple it can be. When we give our body what it needs, it can take care of itself.
So since then, we have developed the AromaTouch technique. Now this is something you don't need to do every day unless you are suffering from something chronic or acute. But Dr. Hill does recommend that at least once a month we look at offering that to our children or to each other.
That's a great way to recover and solve all kinds of issues that could be coming our way. So one other thing I have to solve in the afternoon is cravings. If you're like me, I like chocolate. And if I don't have something to help with my cravings, things can get a little out of hand.
Where's the chocolate? You got any chocolate here?
I don't need any, because when I drink grapefruit or Slim and Sassy or take that in a little gel cap, I just don't have the same cravings that I normally would. I talked to my brother just the other day, and he said, he used to be on the road and he would be famished by the time it was lunchtime, and he would eat what 2 people would eat in one meal. But now that he's using Slim and Sassy, and he uses 20 to 25 drops a day, that has curbed his appetite and his cravings so that he's eating normal portions. And he showed me his belt. You gotta see this belt. He just goes back a notch every time. So now it's like 5 in. You might have to buy a new wardrobe, but it's gonna be worth it if you can get rid of those cravings and not be a victim to them.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
All right, now we're headed to the evening part of your day.
If we can break out and get that Lifelong Vitality Pack, we want to get it again here at night.
One part of Nourish is Terrazyme. Terrazyme can be taken with meals. So what is Terrazyme? This is a combination of food enzymes in a capsule form to be taken with meals and in between meals. So benefits of that, and why would you want to do Terrazyme?
Yeah.
Every protein molecule has an enzyme that enables it to be assimilated by the body. One protein molecule that people are really familiar with is lactose.
Okay.
So people that are lactose intolerant, sometimes they'll take the lactose-free milk in the grocery store, right? Look on the back of the container, what does it say? It says that in that container it has milk and the lactase enzyme. So now your body can break down lactose with lactase enzyme. So every food needs some food enzymes. If you've cooked or processed your food above 125 degrees, now there are no more enzymes. They can
Only the live food, right?
Yeah, your
enzymes.
fresh fruits and vegetables are a great source of natural food enzymes. But if you look at your meal and you need to take an enzyme to supplement what's been cooked there, that's where Terrazyme comes in. So it's easy to remember, depending on how processed your meal is and how hot it's been cooked, how many enzymes to take. On the bottle it says 1 to 3. So if you've got a nice fresh salad and lots of fruits and veggies going on, maybe you just take 1 enzyme. If you've got your meat and potatoes, you better get 3. Here's a guilty confession.
Oh no.
Well, I'm not too good about washing my kids' hands throughout the day, but at bedtime, I tell them, go wash your hands. I don't want them taking whatever gunk they've gathered throughout the day to bed with them. So love that the On Guard soap will help, kill all the nasty germs and send them to bed safely.
You know what's so cool about that is our body has this built-in acid barrier. So when you reach out and you grab a doorknob and there's a germ there, you can ward that off because of this acid barrier on your hands. Well, what happens when we use hand sanitizer?
That strips your acid barrier. So now you may be clean for a few seconds, but you've lost your natural protection that comes with your skin.
And we're just inviting it in, right? The next doorknob that you touch,
here it comes.
That's coming in. So the powerful thing about using On Guard soap is that it keeps that acid mantle, that acid barrier in place.
Great. And the other thing about On Guard is that it will prevent the bacteria from growing. So if you've used that in your house to clean, then it's going to prevent bacteria from growing on your hands as well as in your environment.
Surfaces and all. We want to move to restoring, right? Before we go to bed.
Your bedtime routines with yourself and with your children. Hopefully you've got something in place that helps them to get ready for bed. So now's where we get to add in the essential oils.
Yeah, so whether it's self-care or you're caring for your spouse or children, this is where you get to apply it.
Yep. One that's really good to help quiet down the stress and the, just kind of release all of the thoughts for the day is Serenity or lavender, or there's even some other blends from doTERRA that are calming and peaceful. So one experience I had with a friend of mine whose child suffers from ADHD. She's a goer. She's always bouncing.
Wow.
And at nighttime, the first time that she used lavender on her daughter looked up at her and said, "Mom, what was that? You just took half the thoughts out of my head."
That essential oil can do just that.
Yep.
I felt that.
So then when I get in bed, I like to have a roll-on right there by my nightstand. I like deep blue in the roll-on form because it seems like I'm getting in bed and I'm just getting comfy. I got the thoughts gone. I'm just about to drift off to sleep and I can feel pain. I can feel it. It's just starting to hit me. I'm so comfy in my bed and now I've got pain. There's something pinching right here in my lower back. Okay. The roll-on is great because the light's out. I don't have to worry about how many drops I'm getting out, and I can just put it right where I need it, wherever that pain is.
Wow.
It's good.
And I'm an AromaTouch fan. The AromaTouch blend, it's called a massage blend for a reason.
Yeah.
I call it the massage in the bottle, and I will just take that bottle, couple drops on my hand, and get this side of my neck where I'm holding a bunch of tension, couple drops on my other hand, get that side of my neck, maybe rub it down just a little bit, and if my husband's lucky, he gets a little bit of that on his shoulders too. So
Awesome.
Love how that just relaxes the muscles, and I like the warmth of AromaTouch.
Best way to support your new essential oil habit is your loyalty rewards program.
It's the best way to get the most oils at the best price.
Least amount of money.
Yeah.
If you're a smart shopper, then this is what you want to do. You want to be on the rewards program.
You don't have to coupon clip in doTERRA like we used to do, but we want to be able to get those oils and be able to get all the rewards. So what I like to do is just keep a wish list, something that you want to try next.
What you're running out of.
Yeah.
Just keep a list. Be sure that you change it before it fires and take advantage of the product of the month. This is great. You get a free product doTERRA puts in there. They said it's about a $12 to $15 value, but one month they even had a $30 product for free right in the product of the month. So to take advantage of that, you've got to be in before the 15th, on or before the 15th with at least 125 PV.
It's so generous. You want to take advantage of that product of the month. And then remember to redeem your loyalty rewards credits. You can redeem the credits that you've earned for free oils.
Stuff, whatever you want.
Yeah. We're not going to change our whole world in a day, but we're just going to find simple ways to integrate the oils into your home, into your life, and connect it to things that are already habits for you.
We never thought that our efforts would spread like they have, but now thousands and thousands of people are experiencing essential oils because we chose to learn and do something that, maybe is a little different, maybe a little hard to incorporate at first. Maybe people think you're a little strange.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes time, but it will come.
As soon as this is done, I want you to get your oils and put them where they need to go in your house because you're ready. And watch what happens for a week and then reassess. What was your life like before essential oils and what is it like now that you've done it for a week? Using them consistently throughout the day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night.
Start out with a week, see how it feels. Then take it to 21 days so that you've turned these into real habits that stick for you.
And as you do, you'll become the expert.